All right, I cannot find my tripod, so we're having to do it like this today. But that's okay. What we're gonna make today is a drink cozy, like this, and I'll bring an example to class of what it does. You stick a drink in here and a hot or cold, and then you can hold on to it like a sleeve of a coffee cup. Okay, so you take your excess yarn that you have that you've used before, your yarn ball, and you're going to go ahead and make a slip stitch on your hook, and then you want to chain 26 and keep them kind of loose. Don't tighten them up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See how I'm not tightening it after each time? I'm just keeping it loose. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, don't tighten it up. Keep it loose. Now you're going to see you have a right side that has your V chain on it and a wrong side that looks like a chain. You want to take your right side, the V's, hold it out straight, make sure it's, take your finger and make it straight so it doesn't curve at all. You're going to take your right side, which is the V's, put them together. You're going to stick your crochet hook into that top chain, just like that. And now you're going to check again. You're going to want to kind of turn it over and make sure that your right side is on the outside and that it stays not turned all the way. So you have a solid loop of outside hook. Okay? Now, once you do that, you've got your chain hooked on there. You're going to do a slip stitch. So just take your yarn over and carefully pull it through both of those loops. So it's connected like this. Again, make sure that your circle is all even without any turns in it, and all the right side of the chain is on the outside. Okay, once you do that, you're going to make one chain. So yarn over and pull it through that one loop, kind of tighten it up. Okay, this first part is the hardest part. So if you need to start over several times, I understand. I have to all the time, and I've made about 100 of these. Okay, so what you're going to do, you see that first chain right there. You're going to single crochet all the way around. So you go into that first chain, this gets kind of weird. Hold on. See, I already have to start that over. But that's okay. Just very carefully undo it. Okay. You're going to go into that first chain yarn over, pull it through, and we're just going to do a single crochet. So yarn over again and pull it through both. And keep going. Yarn over again, put it through that second chain, yarn over again. Oh gosh, see, I've already messed up. I did a double crochet. Single crochet. Okay, so put it through the chain, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through both chains on the hook. Gonna put it through the single chain, the next single chain, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through both of the loops on the chain, and you just keep going around. So stick the needle through, yarn over, pull it through, so you have 2 loops on there, yarn over, pull it through both. Keep going, put it in the next chain, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through both chains, both loops on the needle. Keep going. Single crochet, needle through the loop, through the chain, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through both. Keep going. Put it through that single chain. Sometimes it's kind of hard and tricky. It's okay though. Yarn over, pull it through, yarn over again, pull it through both. Keep going, single chain, yarn over, pull it through. And you just keep going until you get around to the front. You also want to make sure that you're not twisting up the chain as you go. Keep making it straight and make sure you're always going into the front of the chain. So those V's with your single crochet all the way around to the very, very beginning. Okay, I've gone all the way around with my single crochets. I've got 1 loop left. So I'm going to single crochet into that 1 loop. And that's kind of always the hardest one to get into because that's where your knot is that started it all. So you single crochet that. And now you've got kind of a V here of where you started and where you ended. So what you're going to do is the top over here where you started, the top chain, you're going to do a slip stitch. So you're going to stick it through both of, like we've been doing the V. Stick your needle through that V, yarn over, pull through, and that's always hard because it was the first one. And then you're going to pull through that second one to slip stitch and connect it. Okay, now we're going to do what's called a half double crochet. And that's where you yarn over and then pull through all 3 loops and then start over. So in that next chain, you're going to yarn over, put your needle through, yarn over again, so you have 3 loops on your chain. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. So that's a half double crochet. Then you're going to go into the next chain, yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 of the loops. Then you're going to go into the next one. Yarn over. Go through, yarn over, pull it through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 of those loops. Then you're going to go on to the next one. Yarn over, put it through, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your chain. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. If you ever mess up, and I do this all the time, I don't know how or why I do this, but I get 4 loops on there. And just take your needle out, undo it a little bit, and just start over and keep going. So you're going to go all the way around and keep doing these half double crochets. Make sure that you do it in the loop that you haven't already gone into, the next loop over from the one that you've already gone into. Don't go into the same chain. But you're going to go all the way around. Just keep doing these half double crochets all the way around. All right, you've gone all the way around once, and you get back to the start of where you did your slip stitch to begin your half double crochet. And you know that because there's kind of, you'll see a V kind of in your work. This is called working in the round. So you're not going to join it or anything like that. You're just going to keep going. So even though it looks weird and there's a V, just keep going into the next chain, into your half double crochet, and it will eventually even out. Just keep going all the way around. And you may have to work with it because sometimes it gets kind of, you know, the strings get kind of jumbled up and mixed together, and then you have to pull your needle out, undo a couple chains, and then restart, and that's okay. But you just keep half double crocheting all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Just keep going. And you want to get about 6 to 8 rows. A row being, you know, you did the rows. So you want to get 6 to 8. I'll be right back with you. I want to reiterate that it might take a little bit of time to get used to doing this. It took me maybe 5 tries, especially the beginning chain where you make sure it's straight and even and doesn't flip. And you may have to take it out and start over several times, but you want to make sure that that chain does not flip because it will make your work look wonky. So, yeah, if you have to start over, that's okay. I have to do it all the time. And I know it's disheartening when you've gone quite a ways, but sometimes it just has to be done. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'll be back with you very shortly. Okay, I've gone around and around and around, and I don't know, I've done about 9 rows or so. And I'm almost back to the beginning, and I can tell it's the beginning because here is the yarn where my chain started. So I'm almost back to the beginning. Just do a couple more half double crochets to get back to the very beginning. And then I'll get there. Hold on. I'll do one more. Okay, so it's enough to hold on to so you don't burn your hands when you're drinking your drinks. So you'll notice that if I just tie off here and stop, there will be this weird kind of angled gap. So we're going to fix that. So we're going to hide it just a little bit. And the way you do that is by doing a single crochet into the next loop. So you're just going to into the next loop, stick your needle in, grab the yarn and pull it through. So you have 2 loops on your needle. Yarn over and pull through both loops. So you have a single crochet now. Now you're going to do 2 slip stitches. So you're going to go into the next loop or chain, over and pull it through. Then you're just going to pull it through that chain that you had there without yarning over or anything. So that's a slip stitch. Then you're going to do that again. You're just going to stick it through the next one, yarn over, pull through. So you have 2 loops on your chain and pull that last loop through. So you have a slip stitch. And then you tie off and you're done. Oh my goodness, where are my scissors? Okay. Here are my scissors. So you're just going to cut off about 6 inches. Yarn over, pull it through, all the way through, tighten it down. Now you're going to hide this thread by sticking your, gotta start this way. Sticking your needle through at some point and pulling that loose thread all the way through. Then you go from the top and do it again. Stick your needle through at some point. Grab that yarn, pull it all the way through. Then you're going to keep going to hide that yarn. And you can do this with a needle, but I just find it's quicker to do it with my crochet hook. Sometimes if I can get it to work right. Pull it all the way through. And you're going to do that a couple times. And then when you've done it a couple times, you're going to get the yarn to the inside of the cozy. So here's your outside and your yarn is on the inside. There's the outside. The ending yarn is on the inside. Then you're just going to cut it and leave about maybe a couple centimeters so it doesn't pull back through. Then you're going to go to the bottom, and you can see at the bottom there's kind of this notch where you can tell that it's where you started. You can kind of hide that when you go to hide your thread by pulling it through. This is really hard without my tripod. It's harder to show y'all how to do this stuff. Do that a couple times. Ooh, this is a long video, sorry. And pull it through the last time. And you're gonna finish so the yarn is on the inside. And you're going to cut off a little bit. And there's your drink cozy. All done. And if you finish, make a couple of them and make really good Christmas gifts. Okay, bye.